Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Miami Dolphins podcast here on the Samuraii Radio YouTube channel. So today you guys see the segments on the right. I changed up the format, I guess you could say, of the outlay, like the overlay. You know what I'm talking about. The overlays, I changed it a little bit, so it looks a little bit better. There's not really great lighting for this one, which is whatever. I have a little pimple right here, which is like the funniest placement for me to have a pimple. But besides that, let's just kind of get right into this. So the first segment that we talk about is our week in review. So I wanted to do this in a better way. Now, when I'm talking about week in review for this, because I'm not going to do this every time, because usually I'll do my week in review, which is going to be the Q&A type of thing. But in terms of week in review, I wanted to talk about two main things. One was of course, another article about Ndamukong Suh, and then the second one is talking more about the Douglas High shooting. So if you don't want to hear it, you can skip ahead to a different segment, which you see on the right already, so you know what the segments are going to be. So you can skip ahead if you don't want to hear about it. But I just kind of have to talk about it a little more. So the first thing, Ndamukong Suh, Jason Lacon, I don't know how to say his last name, but that guy once again said that the Miami Dolphins will trade Ndamukong Suh, that he wants to play for the Eagles for free. And look, he never reports anything good. He kind of just does the clickbait, and it's a little bit annoying. It's another reason why I say that we don't have any credible, actual, like, good sources nowadays for, news anywhere, which is very unfortunate, because you think that, like, we'd get some credible sources. I mean, really, we have Salguero, and that's pretty much it. Everyone else is kind of just fishing for views, which is extremely annoying. One, obviously, because you don't like clickbait, and, thank God for YouTube to add that thing where you can preview a video and it'll show you what's actually going on, which is kind of cool. Usually it's in like the middle of the video, but, you can kind of get a sense. But obviously, you're still going to get clickbait videos out there. But, you don't really get to see that. I know there's a lot of articles with the very clickbaity titles, and it gets a lot of people, and really I don't read anything unless it's Salguero. Most of the time Salguero does the same thing. He'll have some clickbaity videos, but what can you do? There's nothing you can do about it. So we have that. I also wanted to get into, if I can see this, where is it? Yeah, thank you guys. We got 238 views for the first episode of the Miami Dolphins podcast. Thank you a lot for that. Hopefully this one gets a little more. I want these to kind of get around that 400 to 500 range. That's what I would be hoping for this. So hopefully we can get there. But yeah, so getting into the Marion Stoneman Douglas High. I think that's the name. I know it's Douglas High. That's really what I know. It's Stoneman Douglas High shooting. So there's been a lot that's interested me about this, just because I feel like, and I wanted to talk about this on Friday, but I wasn't feeling good, and yesterday I still wasn't too hot. Even now I still have a little bit of gas and stuff like that, but I just wanted to talk about, just really quick, I'm not gonna dive too deep into it again. Like, I already had a video about it, which, to the one person that disliked that video, fuck you, because just fuck you. I mean, honestly, just fuck you. If it's because honestly, if you can dislike a video talking about why, like, when will tragedies like this stop, like, you're just a fucking awful person. But besides that, and I just noticed that now as I was going down the list, because I have it pulled up here to my left. But just, like, I don't know, Thursday for me was just weird, guys. Look, I mean, I'm in college now. I'm not in a high school, so it's not gonna be the same reception, but things just felt really off on Thursday. It felt like, in everything except for my speech class, that things were normal. and it was just kind of frightening to me. I remember I was driving. I had a long drive, and I was driving. I was in my car listening to the radio, and I was flipping through radio stations, and a lot of them were still doing the same thing that they usually do. The only one that was kind of veering off of sports was 790 The Ticket, which was interesting, and I kind of give props to 790 The Ticket for that. They were pretty much focused on the Douglas High shooting, and that's what they were talking about all day. I don't know. It just felt weird. Everything felt normal, and it was not settling for me. It really messed with me that everything was kind of normal in a lot of people's eyes on Thursday. So I just want to talk about that. I don't know if it was the same for you guys if you live in Miami, but it was just very eerie, very weird. Things just felt normal, and I didn't like that. But from there, we get into this is the Dolphins podcast. I just wanted to kind of talk about that for 6 minutes. Just want to talk about that with you guys. Just because I felt like that was something I had to get off my chest. Now that I can finally sit here and record for like 30 minutes. So yeah. So we get into our next one, which is Jarvis Landry. So Jeff Darlington of ESPN said that he sees the Dolphins re-signing Jarvis Landry, which I thought was very interesting because I don't really I haven't seen anything lately of that. And a lot of people keep saying, well, Jeff Darlington is usually right. That could be all fine and dandy. But to me personally, the best source of Miami Dolphins news is Armando Salguero. Whether people like him, whether they dislike him, whether they like his stance on anything, he is the most honest and the best reporter we have in Miami. And, I mean, he tops every single reporter at the Sun Sentinel. The only thing close to him, in my opinion, is probably Shad and Adam Beasley. Not even probably. I mean, they're the guys. I mean, Salguero's 1, and they're probably like 2A and 2B. Beasley being A and Shad being B. I mean, obviously you have other guys, but Salguero is basically the guy. You have Barry Jackson, but Jackson I kind of look more towards other things than Dolphins, even though he does report on the Dolphins. But Salguero is basically that guy, and he gets pretty much fed most of the information about the Dolphins, and for a good reason. I mean, Salguero reports, and I like Salguero. I don't like his opinions most of the time, but I think he's very honest to the point, and he is a good reporter. So until it comes from Salguero's mouth, I just can't believe it. I mean, there are a lot of fans that were happy and mad. I saw on Twitter about the situation saying that Jarvis is most likely, Jeff Darlington saying that he'll most likely come back. I just can't believe it. I'll be honest, even if it comes from Salguero, I'm going to have a very hard time believing that at this point, Jarvis is going to come back. I mean, we're a month away. I mean, if I look at my calendar, we're a month away till free agency. Just about 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 4 weeks. Yeah, a month away until free agency. I just can't see it happening. I just don't think that it's possible. I don't think that they can come to an agreement like this. Now, we were saying the same thing with Kenny Stills, but the Dolphins were trying to work out a contract, and they weren't putting out misleading or bad information about Kenny Stills like they're doing with Jarvis Landry. And admittedly so, they're trying to they're trying to push things out towards Salguero, so Salguero puts it out on the Herald so that we get it fed from the Dolphins. Now, obviously, it's not directly coming from the Dolphins, but it's directly coming from the Dolphins. So it's just hard for me to believe that Jarvis Landry can stay a Miami Dolphin. And I know that this is very hard for a lot of people. Look, a lot of people on my channel think that I'm a Jarvis Landry hater. I'm not at all. I think Jarvis Landry is a very big piece of this offense. But at the same time, when he has his best years, we are a losing team. And I think that his stats get overblown a lot in terms of his receptions. And then I feel like no one wins. That's the best way I can say it. In all of these arguments, no one wins. Either it's his touchdowns or his receptions or it's his, receiving yards. No one ever wins. Not the side for Landry and not the side against Landry. Neither can ever come to an agreement on anything. And it's because some of them just like Jarvis Landry so much they can't see anything else. And then some of them just hate him so much they can't see anything else. The real middle ground is Jarvis Landry is a good player, but he is a slot receiver. And slot receivers don't get $14 million. And he just should not get $14 million. Like that's it. He catches a lot of balls. Probably one of the most reliable receivers in the NFL. You throw it to him, 99.9% of the time he's catching that ball. Whether it's 3 yards off the line of scrimmage or freaking, let's say, 40 or 50 yards off the line of scrimmage, which obviously never happens really. But you get the point. He is the most reliable receiver in the NFL, in my opinion. I think he has the best hands. I think he's the most reliable. And at times, if he gets the ball, not 3, but more like 7, 8 yards off the line of scrimmage, he is the most electric with the ball in his hands. But he is a slot receiver. He does miss assignments. He does run wrong routes. He does have an attitude issue. You know, that's just a lot. And Adam Gase, I'm positive, doesn't want him. And I'm sure he's relaying that to the front office. I'm sure that they're putting this out there, that they're in negotiations because they want things to kind of be, you know, all handy dandy and into one little thing together. But guys, I just don't see it possible. It just doesn't really make any logical sense to me that Jarvis Landry will still be on the Dolphins come the 2018 OTAs, come the 2018 training camp, come the 2018 preseason. I just don't see Jarvis Landry being a Miami Dolphin anymore. And it sucks. It really does. You know, he's a good player. It just doesn't, none of the stars align, you know. None of it aligns in one straight line there, and it just doesn't make sense to us. It doesn't make sense to the organization. It doesn't make sense to people outside the organization. But the opinions are everywhere. There's people that are down the middle like me. There are people that absolutely hate him in terms of I don't want him back under any circumstance. And then there's people that will literally trade our entire roster to keep him, which is asinine and stupid. But you have those people. There are some of you guys that watch my videos that are those people, where you don't care how much it takes to get him back. You'll pay it. And it's absurd. It is. It's absurd. Because it's like, you know, and a lot of people will bring up Ndamukong Suh. And they'll say, oh, well, Ndamukong Suh's getting this. Yeah, well, Ndamukong Suh signed that contract. It would have been the same thing with Oakland. And he would have known both in Oakland and with the Dolphins, that contract will get converted to a signing bonus. That is one of the greatest contracts signed by an NFL player besides the Brock Osweiler contract that I've ever seen. Because he knew that was going to get converted into a signing bonus. He knew that he was going to get this guaranteed. His money just keeps getting moved to guaranteed. He's just getting guaranteed money throughout this whole deal. You want to put mine into guaranteed money? Sure. Yeah. Bring me down to 10 million. 15 million. Sure. You're going to convert that other 14, 15 million into guaranteed money? I don't care. He's just getting it all guaranteed, and it's crazy. And I locked my chair. It's crazy that people, you know, they're trying to compare Jarvis Landry and Ndamukong Suh. I don't like Pro Football Focus, but I'm pretty sure that Ndamukong Suh was just ranked their 3rd best player or something like that. I retweeted it. I'm not 100% positive. Don't quote me. But, you know, I saw that. And I find it interesting because people are just so ready to axe Ndamukong Suh as if he isn't one of the biggest parts of our defense. As if he isn't still a top 2 defense. I mean, it's really him and Aaron Donald are the best 2 defensive tackles in the NFL. And Ndamukong Suh turns, 30, 31 soon? He is still one of the most dominant defensive tackles in the game. He will be a Hall of Famer. It's crazy. I mean, he will finish his career with the Dolphins. That's my hot take, if it's really even a hot take. You know, I think he'll finish his career with the Dolphins. But, you know, seeing all these people compare Ndamukong Suh and saying that he has no production, those are the same people that said that Charles Harris did nothing in his rookie season, when it might have not shown up on the, you know, the stat sheet in sacks, but he was pressuring QBs as the season went along. He was developing really nicely. I mean, he was learning behind Cameron Wake, and he was developing into a very good player. And Jason Taylor, the Hall of Famer himself, even said that he's going to be a Pro Bowl defensive end. I don't think Jason Taylor would just say that about any other guy. You know what I mean? The same thing when Dan Marino went on the Dan Patrick show before the Super Bowl and said, I believe, don't quote this verbatim, but I believe the question was, what's with Ryan Tannehill? Do we even know how good this guy is? And he said he is good. He is really good. Dan could be doing that. He could. You could just be saying, yeah, he's really good. Really, this guy sucks. I don't think so. I think that Dan Marino's being honest about that. I think that Jason Taylor's being honest about that. The people that say that Jarvis Landry and Ndamukong Suh are the same players are insane, because Ndamukong Suh is the best player on our roster, and it's not even close. It's not close at all. Maybe the 2A to him, or the 1B to him is Cam Wake and then Xavier Howard. But Ndamukong Suh is still the best Dolphin player on our roster, and will be until he's off our roster, or until we somehow get someone that's freaking, Aaron Donald or freaking Tom Brady. Even then, I think that Tom Brady is a system quarterback. Nah, just kidding. But I think Tom Brady is kind of I think Bill Belichick and Tom Brady made each other. But I feel like Belichick would have been great on another team. Regardless, we get into our third topic, which is the Dolphins' playoff chances. Now, I think I talked about this in a video, but I think that the Dolphins, if they can re-sign Damian Williams, I believe he's an unrestricted free agent this summer, or if they can get a guy to be his, Kenyon Drake's number 2, and kind of have a good tandem behind them. We've seen it with Tevin Coleman and Deontay Freeman, and now we've seen it with Corey Clement and LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi to a certain extent. You need 2 good running backs, essentially, and so that would be nice. I think Jeremy Hill has been a name that's been talked about, but I don't really know about that one. But it'll be interesting, definitely. I think that's an interesting thing to do, and they need to get a running back. They're going to need to replace Jarvis with another wide receiver. They need to definitely get another defensive end. They need to restructure some contracts. I would say get a second safety. A lot of people don't really like that idea, but I would much prefer to either play TJ McDonald or Rashad Jones more in the box, because both of them aren't the greatest in coverage. So you need to go out and get a guy like a Derwin James if he's available at 11, or get more of a coverage safety, kind of like how we had in Issa Abdul-Quddus. Sucks that we no longer have him to a neck injury, because I really, really liked Issa Abdul-Quddus. I think the whole year I talked about he was a steal for the Dolphins, and he was. Such an unfortunate situation that we don't have him anymore and that he can no longer play. I really liked Issa Abdul-Quddus. Also, what a name, Issa Abdul-Quddus. That's just a great name. But yeah, we need to secure a couple things. The linebacker core needs to definitely be fixed up a little bit. We need to, tweak some things, look at some things, see how things can fit around with our linebackers. Probably move Kiko Alonso back to middle linebacker, because that's where he's had his best years, both in Buffalo and with the Dolphins. Figure out how Raekwon's going to fit into the offense. He's obviously going to be a coverage linebacker, in my opinion. I've seen him in college cover linebackers and receivers and running backs. He will do the same thing once he gets back from his injury. Definitely should have gone in the first round last year. Steal in the second round. Your corners are going to be fine. You got X. You got Cordray, who had, he started off very well and, of course, went into a rookie slump. That's going to happen to third-round guys. He's not a Marshawn Lattimore, but he will be, in my opinion, an all-pro corner. I think you have the 2 next good corners in the league in their rookie deals, at least for the next 2 to 3 years, in Cordray Tankersley and Xavier Howard. Bobby McCain in the slot. And then, of course, you have Tony Lippett coming back. Torrey McTyer, who was a very nice undrafted free agent, fine. You still have Jordan Lucas, who will probably end up being released, but he is a very good special teams guy. So if they don't end up re-signing Michael Thomas, he'll probably end up taking that reign there on the special teams. Offensively, you definitely need to grab a center. You need to get some guards. You need to figure out the situation that you're going to have at tackle. You need to get a backup quarterback to Tannehill. Maybe draft one, sign one, but you need to get one. So that could be interesting. But if they can have a decent offseason, do I think they can make the playoffs? Yes. This is a playoff caliber team. They don't have the greatest talent in the world, in my opinion, but they have the talent to get to the playoffs. Kenny Stills showed you that. Jakeem Grant coming on late was very nice. Devontae Parker, look, you either trade him or you give him another year and see what happens, because you never know. But that could be interesting going into this year. If you do re-sign Jarvis, then you have a nice core 4 receiver core. Your running back situation is better than it was last year. You have a running back that picks up assignments, that runs the right way. Doesn't have the same power as Jay Ajayi, but he is still a very good running back, and obviously he's won you a couple games because of his running skill, running ability. You get Ryan Tannehill back from his ACL injury, which is nice. Very valuable having him back. But yeah, I think they can definitely make the playoffs. I think this is a playoff caliber team. I think that they have the ability to do it. I feel like they have the coaching staff. Adam Gase has done a great job filling in certain spots, firing certain coaches, bringing on certain better coaches, in my opinion, making a veteran staff, really. I think he's done a good job. I think that Adam Gase has put his coaching staff in a position to win now, and I feel like when it comes to the offseason, him, Greer, and Tannenbaum will put the team in a position to win now. So maybe not win championship now, but they'll put them in a position to win now. I don't think they'll spend big in free agency in terms of money, but I do think that they'll sign certain free agents that fit their mold. I'd be shocked to see them sign someone on a, quote, max deal, but it could be interesting. I think that they do have a chance to make the playoffs. I'll have my, prediction for the playoffs. I did that the past 2 years. I'll do it again this year. Wow, that's crazy. I'm going into like a second, but really third. This is very interesting. I predicted the 10-6 record last year. This year, I did not do too well. I think I predicted 9-7 or 10-6, and we went 6-10. So we'll see. I have to look at our schedule, look at opponents, look at the roster, stuff like that. Do what I did last time. But yeah, so we're gonna go into our next segment, which is gonna be the Q&A. So, Q&A was really just looking at comments, but I'm still gonna just name it Q&A. So I will see you guys in just a sec. Okay, so we jumped to this side of the video, which is, Q&A, but really it's just looking at comments. And so we go back to the comments starting from last week. I go from Monday all the way to Sunday, and we start at Monday. The first comment, which there weren't a lot of comments this week, which is a little bit interesting. But the first comment we have is going to be from I'm_C21, or the biggest Pats fan on my channel. And this one goes, the only thing my Pats did better was execute the passing game. Outstanding game, and I couldn't be mad with the outcome. It was, It was that good of a game. Sadly, we lost, but I could not care at all if people weren't saying Brady choked. That annoys me to an unhealthy point. Bring up those trades hurts bad. Now I'm thinking of that painful trade when we sent Jimmy to San Francisco. Pat McAfee is hilarious. You have to trust your coach until you can't anymore. Commenting on every single segment that we had. Thank you for that one. But I want to talk about, okay, so I'm going to go break this down from each one. He was talking about the Super Bowl, obviously, when it comes to the Pats thing. Not going to get into that anymore. The Super Bowl is already passed. Bring up the trades hurt. Yeah, they haven't really made the smartest trades, the Patriots. I mean, no, look, they made smart trades, but in terms of the fans' eyes, I guess, and it kind of sucks for them, but, it's cool. It's cool. Pat McAfee is hilarious. I wanted to bring something up that I thought was just freaking hilarious. I mean, I have to go and search it up. I am Rappaport, or I am Rappaport. Oh, that's the podcast. I only want Michael Rappaport. Okay. I have no idea what happened last night. All right. But I guess some war broke out between Michael Rappaport and people at Barstool. And apparently he's fired, but maybe he's not fired because they posted this. So I don't think he really is fired. I don't know. But that's just a Pat McAfee thing because Pat McAfee was in that comment. He's in Barstool Sports. That's just interesting to me. But, whatever. So from there we go to that's been the issue with the Dolphins for years, going big in free agency and where that us at nowhere. This team needs to draft good and coach well. Free agents for teams that missing a few pieces. It's been Super Bowl. Oh, free agency is 4 teams. Okay. I'm sorry to tell you this, but the team isn't near ready. I mean, you're not really telling me. Obviously, we're not ready for a Super Bowl. It's not kind of like a sorry to tell you this. I kind of already know that. But, yeah, I mean, I guess that's why I classified big. But, I get what you mean at the same time. Then it goes to, it's not like he's not doing anything. He's staying up. That's talking about Adam Gase. Till 2 a.m. fixing everything that went wrong, according to Dole. Yeah, I think that we'll be fine. I think that he is working his hardest to kind of improve what happened with our team. So that it was just kind of a thing to you guys. Like, do you trust him still? Because I trust Adam Gase still. No part of me doesn't trust Adam Gase. Like, he's not the GOAT anymore, in my opinion. But that's gonna upset a few people. But you know, I just want to see what you guys would know. Okay, next one. I just want your opinion on this. If Josh Allen is there at 11, would you take him? I'm a fan of him. Also, why are you so high on Mayfield? I personally don't think he's a good NFL QB. I'm not high on Mayfield. I'm not high on anybody except for Ryan Tannehill. My friend Moto commented on it yesterday, and I put it out the other day because I was looking at my drafts on Twitter. I'm probably the biggest Ryan Tannehill fan on this planet Earth, and I spent all of the past 2 seasons defending him and Xavier Howard, which is pretty interesting because anyone that's been in my channel for the past, even since we drafted Xavier Howard, knows that I really like him. When I went to that first preseason game and I saw him play when we first saw the stadium upgrades, I bought some tickets for me and my dad to go. But that was cool and that was nice. And I think he had an interception that game. I'm not too sure. Maybe it was Tony Lippett. Someone had picked, but I just like Xavier Howard. I like Ryan Tannehill. But into the Josh Allen thing, no, I don't take him. I think he's a Ryan Tannehill 2.0. And for a lot of people, that might not be nice. They won't like that he's a Ryan Tannehill 2.0. They would prefer having someone different. I don't know if you kind of get what I mean by that one, but I wouldn't take him. I still think he needs a lot of time, and you don't want to throw him out to the wolves if RT gets injured again. Maybe if he's... I'll go with maybe. Probably. I would think about it, definitely. How about that? That's the best answer I can give you. Anyways, yeah, I'm not really that high on him, but sorry to say predictions for the upcoming season. No problem. I love watching your videos right before I go to sleep. It's part of my daily schedule. That's cool. That's dope. Thank you for that. I actually liked that comment a lot because I for a lot of people, I say this on a lot of videos talking about it. I talk about it every time I hit a subscriber mark goal that I have. I was doing like COD, and it was really not even COD. It was like uploading dubs and stuff like that with me and my friend Reagan, or uploading 4s, and it was getting like 15 views, and I was doing really crappy. This channel has gone through like 17 different evolutions of content. But like I say, I said in every single video that it means a lot to me. Then I get, comments that every single video at least has a couple comments, regardless of what it is. And now we get into politics, pretty much, I guess, is to say. Okay, there we go. Sad times. It sucks that all these events still take place and how often they still happen. Yeah, it's awful. Like I said in that video, and as started this video with it the same way, and I'm going to continue to say it, I don't want to go into the whole politics side of it. I'm just talking about the fact that it was a tragedy. I don't want to go into why should we have guns banned, why shouldn't we have guns banned. That's not my forte. I'm not the biggest politic guy. I don't know everything in the world. I can't tell you why you should vote for this person and not that person. I am a guy that saw that there was yet another tragedy, and I titled the same way that I thought in my mind when I heard about it. As I was sitting there with 10 kids outside after we just finished playing football, getting ready to go help with another one of my coworkers to go do a basketball, or to like keep score for a basketball game. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, when will it stop? And that I'm getting notifications on my phone that there was just a school shooting in basically near Miami in Broward County. And in my opinion, I'm sitting here with all these kids thinking to myself, like, if there was a school shooting right now, or like if there was a shooting right now in this area, like what would I be able to do? We're in the middle of, we're out in the open, so it was just kind of like frightening to me. Like I was actually frightened. I said at the beginning of this video, I was, I didn't really talk about it much, but it just felt like everything was normal. And I just I almost started crying in my car while driving because it just, I saw the videos of the bodies on the floor and the shots being fired. When you hear girls screaming and crying in the background, and you see this guy and he's screaming, the girl in front of him is, her shirt's all bloody. There's a body that you don't know if is dead or not to the bottom left of the screen. Yeah, I mean, it was just like insane to me. Just, I couldn't believe that it happened again. And that's why it was just like, when will it stop? I didn't want to clickbait anything. I didn't want to, put a random thumbnail. I didn't want to, I said his name. I really didn't want to give him any publicity, like in terms of his actual name. It was just insane to me. But that's why I said I want to go into politics. That's why, you see this comment by H Hussein. I will read it. I'm not going to really go too in depth into it because I don't want to get into the politics side of it. It's not what my channel is about, but I do want to talk about it. So I despise it when people say guns don't kill people, people kill people. And I'm just like, yeah. And what do they use them to kill with? Guns, for fuck's sake. If people still don't get it, then why, they have a mental illness. Not really going to go into that on my channel, at least. I know on Twitter, pretty much since it happened, I've been retweeting so much stuff about it. So if you guys follow my Twitter and you want to have a conversation on Twitter, I can have a conversation on Twitter. But when it comes to my YouTube channel, I don't really want to put that out on my channel. I don't know why I differentiate the two, but I don't know. It just feels different talking about it on Twitter than it does talking about it on the channel. Because I feel like I'd have too much of a loose filter on the channel. On Twitter, I'll be able to like look at it and be like, all right, am I sure that this is something I want to say? Because I don't really like cutting and editing a lot in my videos. I like to have it just be straightforward. That's why you hear me do like the and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I've started to edit some stuff out just because it's a little more professional, but yeah. Anyways, when I heard it, I was definitely sad. I have family and friends that live in Broward County, and I wish to express the deepest of condolences to the families and friends of the deceased. Society is messed up, man. I really hope that things turn around. Yeah, society's messed up. He was banned from coming to his alma mater with a backpack, but still kept coming. I used to work in an after-school care program during Sandy Hook. It's crazy to think it could have been me and my group at my local elementary school in Kendall. Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing I was thinking about, and I didn't even come up to this, but that's the same thing I was thinking about in my head. I'm sitting here with these kids, and we're all tired. We just finished playing football, and I'm like, it could have been us. Like, it could have been us, and it was just crazy. Yeah, my school was on lockdown because of it. Yeah, shit like that's crazy. I saw some really fucked up videos of shooting from firsthand. A lot of kids at my school know kids at Douglas and screen recorded their Snapchats of the shooting. To see it firsthand like that is just wow. Like you said, when it happens in another state, it's like you care, but it's and life goes on. But it's close to you. It's when it's a shock. I mean, that's not what I said verbatim. What I said is that it's, awful and people just kind of let it go by. And now that it's happened here, it's still awful. It's still the same feeling, and it's still happening. People are just letting it go by like nothing happened. Like, anyways, I agree that this stuff needs to stop. Yeah, kind of shit needs to stop. Thank you, Spur. I didn't even know that you watched this video, but thank you for that. I agree with you, man. It needs to stop. They shouldn't allow anyone to purchase military rifles. All right, I'm not gonna talk about that just because it goes into politics stuff. This one was one that hit me hard when I saw it. I'm laughing, but it's not even a laughing matter. It's just like how I was in the video. Nervous laughter, honestly. I go to Summer in Douglas, and I lost two people very close to me in this horrible tragedy. The gun violence needs to stop. I was sitting I responded to this on Thursday, and I was sitting in gospel choir. Well, I wasn't in gospel choir. Class was canceled, but I was in the practice rooms. And I was with two of my friends when I saw this comment. And look, some people would be like, oh, that person doesn't go to Stillman's or whatever, it is. But like, to see something like this, whether this person subscribed to my channel or not, whether somehow they came along with it, I didn't put any tags in the video. I didn't, it just says, when will it stop? So I'm sure you just found you're subscribed to me, but stuff like that, just like, I didn't know what to say. I mean, I said that, but like that, I saw it and I was just like, even right now I'm at a loss for words. And it's just insane to me. And I couldn't really have said it better than I did. So yeah, man, it's just fucking awful. you know? It's so awful that stuff like that happens in the world we live in. And it happens in our home country. And people just act like it's normal. And people just let it blow by. That's all I really want to comment on anymore. The game's AI run game is so trash. I need to fix it. Yep, 100% agree. Nice video, dude. I don't even know how this comment got approved. I'm sorry, but like, I gotta take that off because it's on a comment. It's on a comment on a video that's kind of serious. Miami Dolphins re-signed Landry. This video was like 2 years ago, so I don't know what you're talking about. You need to get rid of Jeremy Hill. I'm gonna say that no, I'm not going to. I'm in like week 13, and you're gonna learn to love him. Just trust me. You'll see tomorrow. You're gonna learn to love him. Shameless plug. Talking about the real Dolphins here. Do you think we should get a tight end in the draft? Yes. On Sundays I wake up early at like 11:30. I've been up since like 8. I was supposed to record this at 1, but then my friend wanted to play Call of Duty, and then we started playing Fortnite. I edited 2 videos today. I didn't record the audio for them, but yeah. This one says yay video. That's pretty much it. Wow, this has gone on to be 14 minutes. But yeah, hope you guys very much enjoy the Dolphins podcast. Hopefully we get a lot more comments, even though this was 14 minutes. Hopefully get a lot more comments. We get a lot more interaction with everybody. Also, shameless plug, shout out to Lil Dicky and and Brain. But yeah, hope you guys did very much enjoy this video. I will see you guys next time. And as always, peace.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami